Once upon a time, in a small American town, there lived a young woman named Jane who led a quiet and peaceful life. She had a stable job, close friends, and a loving family. But despite all this, Jane had always been fascinated by death and the unknown. She had always sought to understand what happened after death and had read many books on the subject. One day, Jane received a letter from a stranger who offered her to visit an abandoned house in the countryside. The letter was strange and did not contain any information about the sender's identity or why they wanted Jane to visit the house. But despite all this, Jane was intrigued and decided to visit the house. When she arrived at the house, Jane was struck by its sinister and abandoned appearance. The house was surrounded by woods and fields, and there was no one around for miles. Jane felt a little uneasy, but she was determined to explore the house and discover what was happening inside. When she entered the house, Jane was struck by the smell of mold and decay. The house was dark and silent, and there was no sign of life. Jane began to explore the house, but she soon felt lost and disoriented. The rooms were all identical, and there was no sign of a way out. Jane began to feel more and more uneasy and frightened. She felt trapped in the house and unable to escape. She began to hear strange noises and see things that were not there. She felt like she was losing her mind. Finally, Jane found a door that led outside the house. She left the house and found herself in the woods. But when she looked back, she saw that the house had disappeared. There was nothing in its place, just an empty and silent space. Jane felt shocked and confused. She did not understand what had happened or how the house had disappeared. She felt like she had been the victim of some kind of magic or sorcery. When she returned home, Jane felt changed. She felt like she had seen something that was not meant to be seen. She felt like she had been initiated into a secret that was hidden from the rest of the world. Jane never spoke of her experience to anyone. She knew that people would not believe her and would think she was crazy. But she knew that what she had seen was real, and that there were things in the world that were beyond human understanding. In the end, Jane's experience had taught her something important. She had learned that death and the unknown were things that were beyond human understanding, and that there were things in the world that were too terrifying to be understood. But she had also learned that the fear of death and the unknown was a natural part of life, and that it had to be accepted and understood in order to live fully.